Just before we finish, can we talk espionage?
Always.
With your old man, your old mucker, Felix Jones.
That's a Ronnie Regan
That's a Ronnie
joke.
Regan story. It's a very good one. Felix Jones back with South Africa. His time in England has been joked about as an espionage mission. And now they're asking the same about Andre Pollard at Leicester as well. Spies in the camp, or just something didn't work out and Rassie said, come on back, my friend?
The microfilm.
Yeah. And the sort of, what is it? The parachute over the border.
Why is he postcarded? It's a microdot on the postcard back to Rassie.
I'd love to know what he's learned in his time.
And it makes sense now, doesn't it? Like
Was it espionage or sabotage?
We're playing drafts, and Rassie is playing 3D chess.
Yeah.
You know, he's thinking about the bigger picture, and
Do you think that means he went to Steve and went, we're not worried about that one, I'm going to jump ship from here. We don't need to worry about this for Rassie. I'll try and get another one.
He'll be in Wales in 2 weeks' time.
Exactly. I'm just surprised he didn't do a stint in Ireland, one of the camps there, or the Lions. But no, he's coming back with his sack full of files, and you got to think that it's listen, I don't think it's planned. I don't subscribe to that particular conspiracy theory, but my God, it's been useful for him and very useful for South Africa.
And it just builds the cult of Rassie Erasmus even more. You wouldn't have ever stuck that on a Steve Borthwick necessarily, or a Gregor Townsend, but because it's Rassie, it's like there has to be an agenda.
Yeah. He's so clever, so different thinking that you think if there's one guy who would be able to put this together, it could be him. But on the side note, I don't know if you saw that when they announced it that he was going back and stuff, there was like a little replay of his time with South Africa, and all you could see was him with his laptop. Right, lads, this is what we're facing. So I didn't really know that he was. I know Rassie is obviously very important, but he was a lot of the mastermind into dissecting teams and picking out how you could get them. Let's push them to the edge. They're not fit enough. This 50th, and I could tell that the sort of pressure and this whole thing that you need to get them to scrummage more idea against France was really from him. And I didn't know how much of a mastermind he was in terms of strategy. So definitely using him as a spy, if he is a spy, if that was the idea, bloody hell, you've sent a proper weapon.
And if he didn't put him in there, if he didn't plant him in there, I bet you it was a factor in re-engaging with him. Certainly, it had to be. So, and I think the disappointing thing here, there's a disappointment from an Ireland perspective here.
Are you surprised that there wasn't an open opportunity for him?
I'm surprised there. I would be surprised if there wasn't a conversation at some level with him. I'd say that almost certainly had to have been. I'm not privy to it. I don't know. David Humphreys would be the man now to have that conversation. I don't know to the extent it was. To put him in as Munster head coach, I think would have been difficult as well, because he hasn't had a head coaching job yet. But what you want to do is get him in the system in some, to some degree. It might have been difficult to get him in the Irish system given the way it's structured at the moment. Maybe he wouldn't have wanted anything but a top provincial job. So it is disappointing though, because he's obviously has massive rugby intellect and property, and that would be better served for Ireland or we would think it would be better served for Ireland than South Africa, him being an Irish guy.
And Rassie said no.
Rassie
said no.
Yeah, Rassie said no. Are you surprised that Andy Farrell hasn't tapped him up?
Yeah, I was.
But also you think
Lions.
Going back, Lions might have been a pull. But going back for the treble or the thruple or whatever you want to call it in World Cups, or
Thruple's slightly different to the three-piece.
Back for the triple.
I can see why he's done it, but I wonder how quickly after sort of the England thing blew up, that conversation with Rassie happened, because I would have thought, one Lions, but like Lions in the South wouldn't have been enough. Would have to be something else with Ireland.
You could have done Lions and then joined for the Rugby Championship. Couldn't you?
Oh, but I don't think they would have wanted him to go on the Lions and then go back down to
South Africa.
No.
Why?
I think, that
intelligence you can gather on the Australians.
He's enough state secrets already,
Possibly. Well, but then you can harvest everything. You could get all four and get back into South Africa as opposed to just one. I'd have been a better spy than Rassie.
That's what I'm saying. No, Rassie would want it. The Lions wouldn't want it though, because he's open to that.
Yeah, all right, fair play.
Yeah.
Who comes into the equation therefore for Lions? Coaches are announced in 3 weeks' time, I think it is. Steve Tandy?
I generally don't know. I think Faz will have a firm view of who he gets along with, and is there anyone out there doing anything that Ireland isn't? So is he going to dip into, I don't know really. I think
Sean Edwards.
Yeah, I mean,
that's that's wonderful Wigan flavours to the best of British and Irish.
Yeah, but then does he need to go to Sean for that emotiveness or whatever? Where Faz is that guy anyway.
Do the coaches need to be Brits?
Don't have to be.
Yeah.
Could you have a once in a lifetime Fabien Galtier coaching the Lions? Or William Servat for the forwards? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually don't know whether there's a rule on that.
Well,
I think everyone...
I'm sure it was Gatland. Gatland was the last head coach.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it doesn't.
But I think we meant by coaching from a.
I think you pull in from other unions, as
unions that you're drawing players from rather than.
Oh right, okay.
So I don't know. I mean, surely that even if he did, Fabien would jump at it because it's just an experience you don't get, do you? So,
would the FFR ever let Fabien Galtier go and coach the Lions under Andy Farrell?
I have no idea. I don't know actually. Fabien Galtier probably complicated.
Yeah.
For a William Servat or a coach that could then come back with additional experience and upskill himself, why not? It's not impossible. If anything, it'd be clever.
And I actually don't know where they're going to go with their coaching staff. To be fair,
because also it would be easy to dip into Ireland, but I don't know
because Simon Easterby will carry on in.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a good idea either.
Because
you're going to have a lot of Irish representation on it as well. So I think you need top coaches, and it's a really significant part of a successful Lions tour mix, and it didn't on the Lions tour I was on with you in 2005. It was an issue. It was definitely an issue.
I'm pretty sure that those glasses of Fabien Galtier are meta glasses anyway, so he definitely
just
fit the spy well, wouldn't he? Yeah.